seems to have a negative impact on cognitive enrichment, preserving cognitive abilities. On the other hand, there don't seem to be clear effects for positive ratings. As is true in some other domains, as you get into kind of subjective sense of support. In this case, loneliness, so actually feeling bad about not having contact seems to be related to poor outcomes, but feeling really happy about your network, your level of contact, not so much. So it's often in qualitative support, it seems to be the negative end of the distribution, or the negative measures that sort of drive the effects. It's not just in health and other domains as well. Psychological distress. The indications of more cognitive impairments in people with high neuroticism scores. We'll be talking more about neuroticism, what it doesn't mean, next week, but as they interpreted it, and it's one of the definitions, if you think of it as kind of trait negative affects, not just how bad do you feel now, but how bad do you almost always feel relative to other people. So these are the folks that are trait depressed, trait angry, trait anxious, maybe.
You mean it's something that's just in their makeup?
Well, everybody has good days and bad days.
You're talking about people.
But some people's good days and bad days are like up here, and
right.
people's good days and bad days. I had a social worker once. I was talking with him on my way out to do some kind of meeting, and he says, "Bob, you're kind of anxious, aren't you?" And I said, "How can you tell?" Because I'm kind of low key, and I look at my worker, I can't tell whether I'm anxious with somebody. He said, "You look awake today." My level's sort of down here. Some other people, they're most relaxed, is well above, my most anxious. And again, we'll probably unpack this a bit more. And I think one of the things I found interesting about this contrast in which personality measure is being used is that the I-think personality inventory measure of neuroticism is virtually entirely a trait anxiety measure. And the NEO is much more balanced, but has a lot of depression and anger, depression, hostility, as well as anxiety in the measure. So it gets me to wondering whether it's kind of like more about depression and hostility rather than just kind of simple anxiety. And then other evidence I see, other studies and other kinds of evidence I see linked to from high depression symptoms and depression diagnoses to eventual cognitive impairment. They interpret this as evidence of the impact of depression on decreasing cognitive activity, etc., rather than as a prodromal sign of dementia. Some of my colleagues here at USC, looking at this with behavior genetic studies, have found reason to think that it may be more of an early sign of dementia. Every time they bring up this argument in Herzog and I'll take them, the evidence I find the most compelling is when they talk about the relationship to the presence or absence of spikes and fungal and this is just low neuroticism people aren't showing changes in episodic memory over study year time, whereas the high neuroticism people are going to fall off over time. Okay, so I know many of you were in the colloquium audience today, but Tyke in his closing comments was making this connection between risk factors for heart disease and risk factors for the dementias. And it does seem to be the case now that brain health in general and cognitive preservation is pretty similar. The risk factors are pretty similar across the two. And so physical exercise is high on the list. Nutrition probably plays a role. Stress reduction, particularly for the dementias, you don't want to get dropped on your head or get hit in the head any more than you can help. It was one of the earliest, epidemiological findings of dementia is higher retrospective reports of people getting dropped on the head as a child.
There's a crease in my head that runs from here to here.
Very true.
It's already started
And
affecting
it
me.
does seem that, like, boxers, although that may be a different disease process, and soccer players.
Actually, I just saw one with football players, professional football players, that typically by the age of like 50, 55, they start exhibiting.
And if you like to have fun on the weekends by getting into bar fights, excessive drinking, recreational substance abuse is probably a bad idea, smoking is a bad idea. You want to do the stuff that you know to do to avoid hypertension, diabetes. Except maybe for stress reduction control, and then this third generation of cognitive intervention, not so strong on the, it's mostly like physical stuff, and it's mostly like heart and brain health, kind of coming out pretty similar. Probably not, crossword puzzles. I gotta get over that. I've tried to get over it for years.
Now, what if we have like a crossword puzzle on a treadmill, so you have to run to like power a monitor? Then you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but A plus B intervention probably isn't going to be any different than the A intervention. Yeah.
Because I'm looking at this right here, and most of them are avoidance. Centered on avoidance. So I'm thinking,
Exercise, nutrition's a good thing.
Stress reduction, that would be more like doing like a yoga or
well, my question though
transcendental
is,
meditation or something.
when the research is going into this, is the research mostly focusing in on? I'm just curious on things like avoidance behaviors, or
Well, the exercise research, nutrition research, and stress reduction training would all be active interventions. And it depends on how you think about some of the others. I mean, it takes a lot of work to get people to stop smoking. So do you think of that as avoidance or as an active intervention?
when I'm saying avoidance, I'm talking about things not to do versus things that you should do.
Yeah.
Because the way that you approach it would affect, I think, the way that you see the problem in a lot of ways.
Could be.
I like that avoid head trauma. It's like something that you can actually think about avoiding.
Well, certain behaviors.
Think about what you want to do.
Bicycle riding, you wear a helmet, that kind of thing. I can understand, but
Yeah.
it's just so
What recreational activities you do?
Yeah, everything.
Unfortunately, technology has gotten better, so we're not wearing like steel helmets anymore.
it's all too late
Yeah,
for
that
me.
crumple stuff.
Yeah, helmets have changed for sports amazing. In the last
That's
10
really
years.
cool. They really
I have
got
a weird
physics to it.
I have a weird question. So that means I have a history of weird questions. Okay, well, my mom, when she was a little girl, she was bitten or attacked on the head by a goose in a lake in Germany.
Those things are actually pretty cool.
And so what I want to know is, and she has, I know, it's wacky. You guys can laugh, it's okay, you know me.
No, I've been attending those things.
Anyway, so she, but she has dementia now. And, I mean, I realize that's like a...
It's from the goose.
But I mean, is that considered a head trauma to be attacked
Yeah.
by an animal like that?
How hard did the goose hit?
Well, she has like a little bump on her head still.
Still?
Yeah, like a little tiny
Oh,
thing.
boy.
Wow.
I mean, she's
I think
she's
actually, to more seriously answer the question, I think the issue is whether you get the bounce in the head.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
concussion, like
So
within the skull.
actually
but-
get a concussion or get close, get that kind of.
No, I don't think it's that.
movement.
No, it's just
So it's
an
also like
animal.
why you have the headrest behind you now in cars. to
Yeah,
keep you from
no,
doing that.
okay, thank you. I'll be sure to
But
ask more
I
weird.
mean, I don't know what happens
That's a
with
good question.
with a goose.
Well, I know it's weird, but whatever.
Might do it. The fact that she still has a bump on her head.
Oh, yeah, a little bump.
I
Yeah.
have a crease that goes here. It's like,
Sand on my breath from the dog.
So, this just sort of start feeling like good news about cognitive stuff.
unless you're
We're
saying.
sort of, after this, we're sort of starting to step off from cognitive and intellectual stuff and going into other domains, starting with personality next week. We will be